Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer dissection is not advised.
The night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up exhausted, both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dream, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a full plot of twists, well-paid actors and multi-million-dollar visual effects, and then you wake up in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain, but that part of my memory was empty, either archived or formatted completely. It's 7 a.m. according to the clock. I seem to be an early bird today. Olga Dmitrievna was still sleeping, wrapped tightly in her blanket. Wrapping so tightly in a hot summer, I got up, stretched, and went to the mirror to look at myself. I'd better shave. Strange idea, before twice a month was enough, but now nothing depends on the way I look. I haven't found a razor anyway. What do I even need it? Why do I even need it if I look like I'm 17 at most? So, breakfast can't be earlier than 9 a.m., and this means I have plenty of time, which I can spend on walking around, washing, for example. The water didn't seem as ice cold as the previous day. On the contrary, its refreshing coolness helped me to brace up and come back to reality, whether all these events could be called real. The tooth powder didn't seem to be such an outdated thing. A quick thought struck me that it's not too different from toothpaste. When I returned to the cabin, Olga Dmitrievna was already up. She was standing in front of the mirror, fixing her hair. "Morning, Semyon." "Morning." Because of my lack of sleep, my head was still singing, and my thoughts were still jumbled together. However, I didn't regret waking up instead of my usual habit of sleeping in the extra 2 or 3 hours more. "How come you're up so early?" "It just happened." "And no neckerchief once again. Let me." "I'll do it myself. It's not a big deal. On my way to the canteen." "I don't think so. Do it now." "Did you forget about the lineup before breakfast?" "How could I ever forget?" "And what's the lineup going to be about today?" "We'll discuss the agenda for the day." So what's the agenda?" Frankly speaking, I didn't care what might be on the agenda for our courageous pioneer troop. I was mostly interested in where our brave leader would send the pioneer army for the following 12 to 15 hours. Maybe I could manage to avoid enemy locations. "You'll find that out at the lineup." She gave me a wily smile. "Olga Dmitrievna, you know, my stomach is getting upset. I'd rather, well, you know. I believe that's okay to miss one lineup if it could get all nasty if I fail to control it right here." Where did all this courage come from? "We have 5 more minutes." "I'm afraid I need more time." "Could you tell me right now, please?" "Sure, I'll try, just in case it all goes down." "Oh, fine. As for focusing today's cleaning camp locations, organizing the books in the library, maybe some other minor tasks, and, of course, we have a ball in the evening. Watch yourself. You must take part in the camp activities today." "You bet." "Definitely, and now I'd rather... Come on, let's hit the road." I came out of the cabin and hid in the bushes behind it, waiting for Olga Dmitrievna to leave. Actually, I didn't want any particular reason to behave this way. But the voice in me kept telling me that I have nothing to do at the lineup. After the camp leader left, I went back to the cabin and decided to wait for breakfast there. Well, I'm not planning on taking part in life today. Cleaning and organizing, that's not what someone in my situation should be doing. 2 days have passed, and I'm right where I started. All the residents seem to be perfectly ordinary people. They weren't involved in any conspiracy, weren't communicating with aliens, and had no idea about time warps. Of course, each of them is a bit peculiar, but those peculiarities do not seem out of line at all. Moreover, if I had met any of these pioneers in my familiar world, I wouldn't suspect anything wrong. They seem to be more normal than natural than, say, yours truly. This line of reasoning was quite logical. The illogical part was the absence of answers. Ordinary people in an extraordinary place. I've heard and seen that already somewhere. Dozens of pioneers, or even more, live with their familiar lives, and do their regular stuff day by day, but don't understand that the world around them is not what it looks like. Okay, but this is their point of view. As for me, I'm not acquainted with the world of 7he404 Camp and its residents, even if they seem to behave the way normal people would under the same circumstances. I have to decide here and now, and those people involved in what's happening to me. Can they give me any answers? Or do I have to seek the truth somewhere else? It seems I overdid it a bit with the thinking. There's no usual crowd of hungry pioneers near the canteen. Or even inside the canteen. Most of them probably had their breakfast before 9 a.m. That's even better. Two's company, three's a crowd. Lena was sitting at the farthest corner of the canteen, lazily picking with her fork at an amorphous lump that vaguely resembled porridge. Having a breakfast with her seemed like a good idea. We can have a chat in peace. Or at least try to have one. I was on the way to the table when somebody grabbed me by the sleeve. Xenia, the librarian. Get your meal, come, we need to talk. What are you waiting for? I was a bit confused. Pardon me, isn't this a bit too sudden? What's wrong? Get your meal, come and sit down. I suppose she considers her behavior completely normal. I'm going to choose this one. I don't want to talk to this person. I was sure that Lena wouldn't mind if I sat next to her. Hold on, wait a sec. Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and headed to the farthest corner of the canteen. Xenia was shouting something in my direction, but I tried to ignore her. Hi, good morning. Having heard the librarian shouting, Lena had been stealing glances at me for a while. Morning. Strangely enough, she didn't blush, but smiled instead. Would you mind if I join you? I'll get my meal and be back in no time. Yeah, sure. In a minute, I was already sitting out in front of her with the simple set of plates on a tray. Porridge, 2 poached eggs, 4 pieces of wheat bread, a boiled sausage, and a glass of compote, made from unknown fruits and berries. Have a nice meal. Thanks. I was trying to eat as neatly as I could, no chomping, smearing the food, or spilling the compote over myself. Seems that eating like a human and not a hog was not so hard after all. As usual, Lena remained silent, which means I should start the conversation. Going to the dance tonight? Probably. She was silent for a while. And you? I don't know yet. Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't dance at parties since my school days. Why so? What do you mean? My mind was still far away in my school times. Why don't you want to go? I didn't say I don't want to. Okay then. But if you're inviting me... Lena turned red and looked away. I don't really. Sorry, just kidding. I felt confused. I'd better not joke like that. Fine. Lena said indifferently, focused on her food, while her face turned even more red. Why am I stuck on this dance as if we have nothing else to talk about? But wait, is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Xenia wanted to ask me. Huh? I mean, when I came in, she wanted something from me. I don't know. I see. The conversation reached a dead end. I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Lena finished her breakfast first. I should go. See you later. See ya. I was finishing chewing the sausage, which tasted like a twisted pair cable. I wonder if they have internet access here. I guess not. Pioneer sitting at the next table noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved at him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues.